We are up. Welcome to Stage on Dallas. I'm your host, Artie Eliason. Tonight, my two guests I think I can truly describe as Renaissance men of the theater. They are producers, actors, directors, technical directors, public relations, development, scene designers, set constructors, box office. Have I left anything out? Maintenance man, and they clean the toilets too, and I think probably cook even.
Yeah.
A little too. My guests are Sir Joseph Dickinson and Rodney Dobbs of the Greenville Avenue Pocket Sandwich Theater. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Artie.
Tell me immediately, which came first, the theater or the restaurant?
The restaurant was there when we...
The restaurant was there originally.
And we did not own it originally.
Yeah, we did not open the restaurant.
And you all are partners in crime.
True.
When you lose your power to laugh, you lose your power to think.
Mr. Charlie, I can't laugh. I'm scared.
Good. Be a damn fool if you weren't.
You're supposed to be helping first. Every time you swear, you make it worse for him.
I'm sorry if I offended. I don't swear just for the hell of it. I think that language is a poor enough means of communication. So we ought to use all the words we've got. Besides, there are damn few words that everybody can understand.
The boy did even a mystery and clawed himself awkwardly. Clawed himself awkwardly. Clawed himself awkwardly for reasons unknown to stand unsteadily on two back feet.
He stands.
We'd better go home and rehearse your parts.
Yes,
We can get the rape emphatic, we can get the rape poetic, we can get the rape with Indians, a truly charming sight. We can get the rape on horseback, they don't say it's new and gay. So you see the sort of rape depends on what you pay. It depends on what you pay. Olé!
I had a troupe more years ago than I care to think about at a little bar theater called the 1912 Emporium, which was down just off of Greenville. And we put on strictly melodramas on Friday and Saturday nights. And I went broke at that. And then some years later, Rodney and I met at Dallas Repertory Theater. He was the tech director then. And I had a small part in one of the plays, and I used to help him with sets. And we got along pretty good. We both liked beer. And we used to go out and have a few and talk about place of our own, and we finally did it. Boy, that's oversimplification, isn't it?
Once again, the Emporium Players invite you to return with them in time. Paris, in the year 1897, to participate in a strange and terrible tale. But first, to assist us in our trip to the past, we ask that you join our cast of players in singing a few songs of that era. You'll find the lyrics on the back of your programs. Please turn them over. Let us begin with Viva l'Amour, Maestro. Viva l'Amour. Very good fellow, Dr. Elvis Class. Viva la company, and drink to the health of our glorious class. Viva la company.
All see that, huh?
Well, after we're married, my dear, I'll put an end to those late calls, running all over London. Let them come to you.
Don't be silly, Ernestine. A doctor who doesn't make house calls could never stay in business.
William and I are here to take you to breakfast. Would you care for tea first?
For the whiskey back.
At this hour?
Well, you know what they say, old man, the sun never sets on the British Empire. And accordingly, I must believe that somewhere in this vast empire of ours, it is, at this very moment, the cocktail hour. Oh, my goodness.
I'm green with envy. I'd like to beat the wretch over the head with the mace there, bury him in a 400-pound hole somewhere, and send it off under my own name to David Merrick or Hal Prince. Now there's the best idea I've had in ages.
My poor Sidney.
I mean, what's the point in owning a mace if you don't use it once in a while?
You will get an idea of your own any day now, and it will turn into a better one than that.
No, don't bet on it.
God save you. Christmas, a humbug. Surely you don't mean that, Uncle.
Oh, I do. Merry Christmas. My grandpa, you got in there, your buddy.
Come in. What right of you to be dismal. You're rich enough.
Ah, humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
Oh, what else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? And Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying your debts without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? I could work my will every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips, working boiled in his own pudding, buried with a stick of holly through his heart.
If you wanted to pinpoint something and say, why did you create the kind of theater that you did, we thought there would be a market for it.
Leave your troubles outside. So, life is disappointing. Forget it. In here, life is beautiful. The girls are beautiful. Even the orchestra is beautiful.
The fact is, she finds me boring.
No.
Yes. That's the reason why she wanted me to go away, you see. She simply finds me shatteringly, profoundly boring.
Now, why would you go and think a thing like that?
Because I am. I know it. There I've sat behind my grey proofreader's desk for 27 years.
General, I couldn't help noticing there are no women on the crew.
A woman in space? Don't be absurd. The only space for a woman is closet space.
All of our shows run 7 weeks with the exception of our January show, and then we have a Christmas show that runs just through December every year.
God bless the master of this house and the mistress also, and all the little children that round your table grow. The cattle in the stable and out by your front door, and all that dwell within your house, we wish you 10 times more.
Yeah, for a second there, I didn't know where we were. Some space navigator lost in our own solar system.
Son, that boy wouldn't know Uranus from a hole in the ground.
Well, with genius at the star charts, I'm glad they installed the new re-entry computer.
Not me. Letting a metal box control our landing? I don't like putting my life in the hands of a bunch of screws and nuts.
Well, we do it every day in Congress.
Number of people throughout a number of shows, you get accustomed to people and what they can do, and you feel comfortable with them. And I think every theater in town has the same problem.
It's a real temptation to cast people that you've worked with
Sure,
before.
you know how they work.
Because you do become friends with, I mean, if anyone can imagine being friends with an actor, but...
Right, greedy young'un, here's to what I say. And I say it'll get you, if you don't change your ways. They do say the Christmas time's his favorite time to stalk. Greedy young'uns, naughty young'uns, young'uns that are rude. You never say its name, you see, in ordinary talk. So I'll just whisper to ya, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Scrooge, 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 Ebenezer Scrooge.
They've torn down so many of my homes to make shopping malls, to make apartment buildings. I didn't change with the times, and it hurt us. All I have left to give my family is my pride